Hey everybody, what is up? What is up? We are back for another live. I know it's kind of random and in the middle of the day. I kind of did short notice, but there was just so much going on that I was like, it's just too much. I was like, okay, I got to talk about it. So whoever hops on the live, get to chat, and we're gonna get into a couple of topics today. Cause I don't know if y'all heard this Maurice and Kimmi situation. Like it is just not going good at all. Maurice really put his foot in it. He put his foot in the dirt. He put his foot in he put his foot in his mouth. And here's Kimmi. They're doing PR damage control, and it literally did more damage. Like at this point, we just gonna need y'all to log off. Also, we're gonna sit there and talk about Monique. Monique finally did an interview discussing her divorce from Chris. We were watching them, I guess, try to like fight through it, figure it out. But sometimes, like she said, sometimes people just grow apart. And who else did I say I was going to talk about? We were talking about Maurice, Kimmi. Who else did I have saved? Matter of fact, let's go to my save pages and let's go ahead and get into everything. Because we're going to talk about quite a few people today. All right, so I guess hold on really quick, you guys. I'm actually just really excited because some good news. Let's start off with a little bit of good news. So y'all know Sha'Carri, she won. She had the fastest time in the 100 meter because remember, ran the world like a personal best of 10.65, and then Sha'Carri. Y'all, Polo Sha'Carri is on track to Jericho and Sha'Carri has the world's best. With Howard Sha'Carri secure her first 100-meter title ahead at the World Championship. Okay, so Sha'Carri got first place in her race. Y'all, I'm really proud of Sha'Carri. Sha'Carri ended up, getting first place and is like on her way to, proving people wrong because people obviously really just tried to dog her out last time and she's just keeping pushing. So we just go send out some kudos and good energy to Sha'Carri. But also as well, who did I want to get into, y'all? Let's go ahead and get into Stevie J and Faith. So Faith Evans, she finally settles this divorce with Stevie J, y'all. Y'all know Stevie J was hanging on by a thread to Miss Faith Evans, okay? He was doing everything he could. He was filing for everything for her to pay for. Like, it's really crazy how when men talk about, women in divorces, all they do is they want to divorce and take half. That's why men are scared to get married because y'all just gonna take half. But then the minute divorces happen and you men, why are y'all sitting there trying to take money then? Like, if that's how y'all feel, Stevie J, all the things you asking for, we have Kenya go do the same thing. So, hold on, let me read this. Okay, so the filing stated there are irreconcilable differences that have led to the irredeemable breakdown of a marriage or domestic partnership, and there is no possibility of saving the marriage or partnership through counseling or other means. Because Stevie J, we all know, does not do counseling. As previously reported, the musical couple officially filed for divorce back in November. After 3 years of marriage, they briefly reconciled before calling it quits again a year later. At one point, Stevie J publicly dragged Faith beg Faith to forgive him and take him back. So we all remember when that post he did after literally making a fool of her on, Beyonce's internet. He's talking about, I promise to build you up and even more to communicate daily with you, respect you, want you, treat you right. We know the spiel that these dudes be doing when they want their woman back. But unfortunately for Stevie J, the heartfelt message wasn't enough to keep Faith in the marriage. Faith said, I'm out of here, okay? I don't want to deal with this anymore. And I think there's literally is a little bit of resentment from the men these days. I think they are resenting women for having the capability of, like, leaving. Like, that is the thing. Like, I feel like they really are stuck in this expectation that you're supposed to tolerate this behavior forever. What Faith wasn't. No, I'm done. Like, she paid this nigga off, and now I'm walking away. Like, first of all, Faith girl, we told you when you first got with Stevie, don't you do that. We watched what he did with Mimi, Jocelyn, the Puerto Rican princess, all of that. We watched the type of person Stevie J is. And then he already F'd you over because remember he was in a hot tub with all them hoes, and he told you on the Faith and Stevie J show that y'all had on MTV. So Faith, like, you know what type of man this was. So the fact that you even married him, girl, I'm just glad you got a divorce. Like, I'm glad it's settled. We don't see his rat face again because ew. And on to the next. Like, don't nobody want to worry about Stevie J. Speaking of another divorce, let's go ahead and talk about Kenya's. So Kenya Moore wants Mark Daly to cough up lawyer money after failed 7-hour mediation. 7 hours? 7 hours of mediation? He is really trying to stick it to Kenya. How dare you try and leave me? How dare you walk away? How dare you? There really is. Martell is doing the same thing. Literally, it's a nigga playbook. It is a bitch nigga playbook if I ever heard one. So here it is. The bitter divorce is not coming to a close anytime soon. In fact, the former couple is headed to trial this month to determine an appropriate child support settlement that Daly will need to pay. Daly is also looking to secure a portion of her Georgia mansion known as Moore Manor, even though it was bought before they were married, okay? It was purchased before they were married. You have some type of nerve to try to come from my house that I purchased before Moore Manor was even in the picture, way before she even knew you existed, Mark. Get the out of here. So, the Atlanta star has previously expressed an interest in selling the iconic home, though she may be forced to divide those proceeds to Daly. The couple split in 2019 and have been embroiled in a nasty divorce since 2021, which is played out on the Bravo hit series. Moore currently has primary custody of their daughter, Brooklyn, and Daly having visitations rights. Back in May, Daly claimed the couple reached a settlement during the almost full day of negotiations. The restaurateur accused Moore of initially agreeing to the terms, but failing to execute them. Moore, on the other hand, says no such deal was completed. She is now asking that Daly cover the legal fees that she accrued while fighting his notion over the illegitimate contract for the rest. Okay, so that was Baller Alert. I got that from you guys. So we know what has been happening, with the whole situation of Kenya Moore and Mark Daly. This is the same man. I wish I had the clip where he said, I don't need Kenya's money. He said, what I build, I can build it 10 times over. I don't need anything from her. But yet here we are, Mr. Mark Daly. You said that you didn't need no money from Kenya, that you didn't need nothing else, that you could build it all over. But here you are, scrounging for change, asking her to pay for everything when you're the one dragging the whole proceed out. Hi, Miss Kiana. Thank you for tuning in. We are talking about Kenya Moore right now. For everybody that come in, y'all know, chat it up, drop down in the chat box. But yeah, like, how is it that, Mark, you really are acting like this and feeling like you are going to that you're going to do this to Kenya, and like feel like because Mark is playing games, he'll set a date, not appear, that's what he did. Like, he did that multiple times. And then I guess when they tried to do this meeting, it wasn't like the contract wasn't signed once again. So it's like he's playing games right now. He's playing games. He's trying to rack up a bill, just like Martell is doing, trying to rack up a bill. And then for the nerve for you to ask for Melody to pay for the child lawsuit that you started. Like, these niggas is that's crazy. That's crazy. So speaking of another divorce, fake ass divorce. So update from the Shade Room, Kim Zolciak and Kroy Biermann call off their divorce. Now, just 2 days ago, it was hell on wheels for these two. It was my kid's missing. Somebody kidnapped it. It kidnapped him. Kroy, he a drug addict. Kim, she got gambling debt. She owed Target. She owed the casinos. She gambled. Like, just a second ago, you and Kroy was going back and forth talking about how just the devils of each other. But now all of a sudden we see that Kim's in this new episode coming up tonight because she's meeting with Sheree and a couple of the oldies. Now all of a sudden Kim's showing up tonight and y'all call off the divorce? Okay, we see what y'all doing. We really need y'all housewives to cut it out. Like, we really need y'all to cut it out with the semantics of going back and forth. Like, if y'all are gonna divorce, do it. Like, stop doing this stuff for a storyline for the show because we've seen it already. Like, the divorce tactics don't work. Like, the reasons why y'all are getting divorces half the time are usually the same reason. The nigga ain't shit. He was cheating on you. Found out you've been tolerated for a little bit. You know, he got narcissistic traits. Like, all of that. Like, we know the usual reasons why people divorce. But the fact that they're calling it off, and then let me see what they said. It said, according to the documents obtained by TMZ, Friday, both Kim and Kroy filed to dismiss their divorce petitions. Sources reportedly told the site that the two have transitioned into a different space as they are really getting along well at the moment. Therefore, they have decided to work things out, especially for the sake of their children. The news of the reconciliation comes shortly after the two were recently spotted attending a church service with their children. Ain't it always the Lord? Oh my God. When the relationship is going down, God's not in it. That's the problem. Y'all ain't focusing your life on the Lord enough. You know, like, and then this BS of, oh, we're going to work it out for the kids. Like, there needs to be an understanding of sometimes people ain't just meant to be together. And for the kids, honestly, is an excuse or a cop-out for a lot of times. Because, yes, you don't want to get a divorce. Nobody, when they sign up for marriage, wants to get a divorce. So nobody wants to feel that pain. Nobody wants to go through that, like, process of the legal fees. Nobody wants to go through that battle. So you use the kids as a scapegoat for why y'all sit there and both y'all suffering, just sitting there making each other miserable. So you think if y'all miserable, y'all kids not gonna be miserable? Because y'all really not hiding the fact that y'all hate each other that well. You're really not. A lot of you parents think that y'all gonna walk around the house and have animosity towards each other, just got done fighting in the room, and like your kids don't feel that energy, nor did they hear it. Like, let's cut it out. Like, let's really cut it out now. Like, this idea of like, oh, for the kids, like, sometimes y'all really be effing y'all's kids up trying to do that. So we really need to cut that theory out, okay? But now Kim and Kroy, now they're sitting there, you know, saying that, you know, their divorce is over. But you know who divorce is on? Miss Monique. So let's go ahead and get into it. So y'all, Monique, you know, she opens up about filing for divorce after 11 years of marriage. Okay, so let's go to how they read it. Here, I'll play y'all a little bit of what she said, actually.
Throughout this whole process, and when we felt like we got to a point where it was like, okay, we're pretty much on the same page with moving forward with things, I did go to the courthouse and file. So a lot of information that was like put out there, it was put out there, number one, while I was on vacation. I was on a meditation retreat in Costa Rica. So I was in Costa Rica minding my own Black business, and I was on a meditation retreat. So, you know, whether you're the person who seeks the divorce or the person that was asked for the divorce by the other person, either way, the process is very stressful. It's like going through a death, you know, in so many ways. Chris and I have been together for 17 years. We've been married for 11 years. But yeah, somebody said at the reunion, so y'all talking about Love and Marriage DC. The reunion, that many people believe the reason you did the show was to set up a divorce to Chris. You both laughed, yet here you are. I hope you both find peace. Yeah, so just because we were going through it last year, which we were, last year was very rough. When we were going through our motions and we were trying to figure things out, the goal was not to get divorced. That wasn't where we were last year.
All right, so basically y'all heard enough of what she's saying. Obviously, if you are a Love and Marriage DC fan, or you've watched the show, we all know that on the show, it was not looking good for them. They did Love and Marriage DC. I think Monique did see getting hyped up by Carlos saying, girl, you know, they loved you, like, or whatever, Housewives of Potomac, you know, because you went up, like, the whole Giselle situation, like people like Carlos really thought that people were going to follow Monique. She got to the show and people lit her ass up. Okay. But their marriage, you could tell, was hanging on by a thread. Monique is asking something of Chris that he just cannot deliver on because he is the typical, masculine male that thinks that they don't have to help with the kids. Like, I make money, like I provide this financial, stress-free lifestyle. Like, that's the only thing I got to do. But it's like, no, there is like a mental and emotional capacity that needs to be, had with your spouse, especially with women. And men don't want to reach that because it's impossible for them to reach that because it actually requires a lot of self-work to do that. In order to be emotionally intelligent, you have to actually do the emotional work. And men aren't doing that because patriarchy says don't. Patriarchy says, push it down, don't cry, you'll be all right, keep it moving. And that's why we got a lot of these frustrated ass angry men and looking at women like we the problem who set the system up. No, the system ain't us. The system of patriarchy is what's hurting y'all, not us. We're only reiterating the system that y'all put in place. Like, that was put in place for us by men. That's what patriarchy means. Just short and sweet, by men for men. If you ask me, patriarchy is simply by men for men, point blank, period. But she obviously was dealing with a lot from Chris, feeling like he wasn't contributing to her, like with the kids, and Chris felt like, I don't got no babies, nobody knocking the door with no babies, I pay for everything, I'd be trying to make sure she good. It just was clearly a block between Monique and Chris, and they tried to work on it. She got messy because Ashley, old messy ass, dropped, she dropped it, she got the drop on them, y'all. She got the drop on them and kind of spilled the beans, to that magazine. To which they tried to come forward and be like, no, that's not what it is. No. But the writing was all over on the wall. Like, it was out ski for them. But what do you guys think this means for Monique? Like, does this mean that, she'll be on Real Housewives of Potomac next time? Or this might be, her being on Love and Marriage DC the next season? Because Love and Marriage DC has gone quite hush-hush ever since the season has closed out. So it is definitely another marriage bites the dust, y'all. Boy, we are Splitsville out here, point blank, period. Like, I just cannot. Like, I'm gonna make a separate video or do a different video, just like on my thoughts on everything. Ooh, my voice is going out. Hold on, y'all. Woo. All right, so yeah. Woo, gotta get my throat right. So yeah, Monique filing. Do you guys think that that'll, mean she'll go to Real Housewives of Potomac or stay on DC? Y'all, Chris out here getting skinty because he was already working out on the show. We saw him working on the show, but now he half his weight now. And everybody's like, oh shit, like Monique already looked good though. Like, she already good. But Chris losing all that body weight, he's slimming. I guess he on his glow up. We just know the ladies is throwing the cat at him. It's just going on and throwing the cat at him. I don't think he's gonna get married for a while. I don't think he's gonna date nobody for a while. They said that they're concentrating on their co-parenting right now. So we have to start understanding when people feel like they've reached a good place and they're content and understand it. You're not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. We just don't go together. Like, that's just what's part of my song, Jill Scott. I was just thinking about you. Cross my mind. Oh my God, that's a gem. Cross my mind is a gem. And basically, it ends basically, we just have to admit that you were no longer good for me and I was no longer good for you. But I just remember the things we used to do. Like, that's it. Like, that's it. How the 90s, like, someone will put a bow on it. Like, sometimes it's like we just weren't good for each other. But I'll take the memories and lessons and I'll move on in life and do good with them. Like, that's how you got to be sometimes. So let's go ahead and move on. I'm trying to run through these topics, y'all. Really quick, let's get into y'all. I'm actually I want to talk about that on a separate thing. Let's get into Essence Fest, y'all. Essence Fest, Man, Miss Indiari, she had spoke her truth, as people like to put it, on the Essence Fest. Basically, on the Shade Room, it says Indiari speaks out after she criticized Megan Thee Stallion and Janelle Monáe for bringing the twerkers on stage during Essence Fest. And boy, they was twerking. Boy, they was going. Booty cheeks in the air. Boy, they was going. So Miss Inyari said that she was gonna try to straighten it up. I'm gonna read a little bit of it. Basically, she said the issue is what is context. Humanity does everything, but does everything belong in a stage? No. Everything for kids? No. Is everything for everybody? No. So when we as a culture make something like this mainstream, it shows the lack of discretion and discernment. To those in the comments who laugh at anyone who wants these things for our culture, you can certainly have that right. Just as many folks have the right to want our mainstream international export our music to show us in a respectful light. I like to go on record saying this won't age well, and that's my issue. I love Janelle and Meg the way I love us all, and I don't like this moment. Don't bother debating me. I don't care. I do this. For 25 years, I've done this. And it's like, okay. Of course, when we think about Miss Indiari, that generation, we think of, okay, you talking about don't bring it on stage, but y'all had Lil' Kim with the titty out. Y'all had, Lil' Kim with the lollipop on the front of her album. Y'all had one of my favorites, I Want to Be a Freak, gonna tell the thing. We can woo woo on time of night. It's all good for me. I want a rough nigga that can satisfy me. Hey, okay, who's that? That's not Anita Baker. Who is that? Is that Anita Baker? That's my girl. I need a rough nigga that can satisfy me. Good for me. I don't care what you do. Adina Howard, that's what it is. I'm like, I know it started with an A. Adina Howard, that's my girl. Okay, so it's the women's is out here. They's freak leaks, Miss Indy Reed. But I'm not siding with Indy Reed, but here's the thing: like, I understand what she was trying to get at in the part of, okay, certain things are for certain events, maybe. Like, we would expect this maybe at the BET Awards, not the Essence Award. But from what I heard, Meg Thee Stallion was the very last person. So if you up that late at night, you should know that some X-rated shit is gonna go on. But also, that's on the Essence Fest. Like, they're the one who booked her. So I think a lot of people, when they saw last year's Essence Fest, saw all the oldies and, had a good old time, which those were the people, okay? Like, they the jams. But, like, I think Essence was trying to be a lot more current. So they brought Meg Thee Stallion on, and Janelle Monáe, her Lipstick Lover. I still need to go listen to the album. But, like, get with the times, auntie. And if you can't, just understand it's not for you. You might have to leave, the arena. Stick for who you want to stick around for. And then, when you ready to go, you don't like who's on stage, or it's not your vibe, then head out. Like, it's that simple. But I do understand what she just, as a community in general, we do have to understand, like, there is a certain decorum for certain places. And it's like, yeah, you think Essence Fest is like a little bit more elevated than, let's say, like the BET Awards or something like that. So, I feel like that's kind of a weird place to be in, but you still can't get mad at people for doing what they're doing. Like, if it's not your vibe, you don't want to see nobody twerking on stage. You don't like people twerking on stage. You ain't got to participate in it. Like, you can walk away. But I mean, Miss India Reed, the time that she was in, it's like, I get it. I understand. But like, it's Meg Thee Stallion. I heard from, I think Bondi was saying she was on at 12, going on 1 in the morning. So if you up that late, you gonna understand that. Okay, Triple X, y'all know at midnight, just like when you was a kid growing up on the TV, as soon as it hit 12 o'clock, that's when all the X-rated shows, BET Uncut coming on, okay? So, yeah, you guys, what do y'all guys feel about her comments about Meg Thee Stallion and, what she said about the Essence Fest and people twerking on stage and all that good stuff? Like, I feel like yes, it's the times are different. Y'all just have to understand. times are different. You know, maybe there could be certain things for time and place and all that type of stuff, but I think people got a problem keeping opinions to themselves. You know who got a problem keeping opinions to themselves? Keke baby daddy. Keke, do you love me? Okay. So Miss Keke said she was gonna have a good old time with Usher. Okay. All right. She said she was gonna have a good old time. Let me see. It's gonna be the singing part. Let me see. Boy, Usher was singing. Okay. Okay, Usher. Everybody said Usher breaking up all relationships this season. Like on his little tour. So nonetheless, Miss Keke Palmer, she was out there feeling her new mom bod. You could tell Keke is just really feeling herself. Like, I had a baby. Like, bitch, I'm a mother. That's what she put out there. Like, I'm a mother. Like, I'm out here grinding in these streets. I got a baby. I don't have time to play. But Keke's got her grown woman weight. You know, the titties is up, the ass is out. You know, she's feeling good about herself. So imagine being like feeling your best self. You out on the stage with Usher, you know, harmonizing, you know, synchronizing and all type of isings. And then all of a sudden your baby daddy who at home, who want to be traditional standards and not got standards, decides he want to sit there and tweet. Hold on. It's the outfit for me though. You a mom. We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks and please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case. You don't shut your chest up before we get to talking shit about you. Like, oh my God. When I tell you everybody was here for Keke, everybody, like, Keke lately has really been garnering like a new sense of celebrity. She's been on a lot of interviews. She just has a really good energy. Like, and sometimes that pisses the men off. Like, watching their woman elevate in a way that they feel like they're not elevating, they start to become a little resentful. They start to becoming a little bit rude. They start becoming a little bit, you know, they try to exert their masculine energy a little too much, and they start getting disrespectful. Okay, that's what starts happening. So you talking about you a mom though, but yet you want to be able to post pictures of her twerking. But they went through all the archives of Mr. Darius, okay? They went deep. So much so they found some stuff way back when about him talking about what Alton Sterling or something like that. Like, they went deep on Darius, okay? It's not looking too good for you out here in these streets. He actually, what he do, he not disconnected. He turned off his account basically, and he came back. He turned it off though and came back. But you feel like you a mom, but you were the one who posted her picture of her ass cheeks jiggling back and forth. So it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Fuck them. Like, that's what it's giving. It's giving you were upset. You was at home. You was looking at your baby mama on screen, and you wanted to find something to be able to pick at her that she was doing wrong and control her and try to minimize her. And you found out, you know what? I'm going to poke at her outfit. Although she's been wearing outfits like that before, she was a mom. And I'm sure when you met her, she was wearing those types of outfits. So to talk about standards and morals of that too, this is where we be having the problems with a lot of you niggas. Y'all want to talk about this traditional standard lifestyle and morals, but y'all don't be adhering to them. You the one who got her impregnated and didn't marry her, Darius. Okay? What are we going to do, Lewis? You didn't marry her, Darius. You ain't the breadwinner, Darius. So how you talking about, you know, standards and morals, but you're not adhering to them? Keke out-earned you by much. But you was at home and probably feeling like how most niggas do. See, it's watching your kids when the woman's at home. Like, can you watch the kids for me? Right? But let a woman go out. All of a sudden, I'm babysitting. I'm a babysitter. I ain't gonna always be your babysitter. Why is it babysitting when you do it, but I'm just watching the kids? See, niggas feel like that it's quote unquote babysitting when they watching their kids. Like, because there is no expectation for them to do these things with their children. But yet they're always constantly talking about, oh, fathers need to be in the kids' lives. Fathers need to be in the kids' lives. But in the capacity in which y'all are in the children's lives, y'all are not exerting the extra energy to actually genuinely be in their lives, because guess what? That requires parenting, and y'all don't feel like y'all have to do it. Y'all feel like that's the mother's job. So y'all are being lazy, i.e. Maurice ass. And we're going to get into his ass in a little bit. So now Keke, she had her little, her clamp back. She was like, damn, I wish I took more pictures. Keke was not here for it. Okay, Keke was like, nigga, if you don't shut up. So she actually posted, what video? Where'd it go? Did I save it? What's going on with me, sweetheart? So if you and they edited it. All right, let me stop. I don't want to get flagged. But Keke basically let it be known, yo, don't play with me. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. You messed up a good old night out with the girls, and what happened? What happened? I'm sorry, I got a text message that really just pissed me off. Just really pissed me off. Why right now? Why right now? I'm just not understanding. Sorry, y'all. I'm really pissed off about this situation. Let me get back to this video. So Keke, she definitely was like, I'm not gonna do this. The baby daddy, he felt like he needed to do a sense of, I'm gonna put my foot out there. First of all, I didn't even know who the baby daddy was when they first came out. I was like, wait a minute, this isn't. Who are you? Okay. And I'm just now finding out that this is Sharon Jackson's little brother. Sharon is from Insecure. I'm just now, and he caught some strays, boy. They was going after his ass too. But I didn't even know that was his brother. Oh my God. Bro, you is I'm sorry, in comparison to relationship to Keke, kind of the house husband, you the backstory, you the background. And a lot of men honestly don't know how to feel when they're in that situation, because according to society, they're only real men if they're the ones that's the breadwinner, and if they don't got the money, nor are they, the financially most stable one in the household, they start to feel a little insecure, and they start acting out in a way that they feel is expressing dominance over the household and being a leader, but really you're just walking around being a bully, trying to boss people around, because you don't know how to feel masculine without the fact that you making less money. So when y'all sit there and get mad at Ebony for saying I'm not going to date the bus driver, it's honestly less about the woman and more about the man. The man does not feel okay. So if he does not feel okay being in a relationship with me, how do you think he's going to act towards me? And why would I put myself in that situation? So what do you guys think about, the baby daddy? And he basically saying you a mom, but we don't never hear that. Well, you a dad. When you a dad, you on here on the music, got your music video full of video vixens, but you a dad. You out here on your boxers with your bulge out on IG, but you a dad. They always, in every avenue, they tell women, okay, be this, be this, be this, be this. But then at every avenue to try to be that, they also smush it down at the same time. They tell women, don't be gold diggers, but okay, I'm going to start making my own money. Now I'm too masculine. Right? There is no, you need to be, sexy for your husband, be attracted to him. But then the attraction, what attracted you to me, obviously is attracting other people. And now I'm supposed to cover up because, we married now. And so a lot of people brought up that Russell and Sierra picture where her whole ass out was out. And that whole situation started again. And Russell, he married and let his wife go out there ass up, ass tooted out. And Sierra looked gorgeous because he's secure. And see, here's the thing too, even if it was a conversation in their household, that's where the shit should have stayed. That's the fact that he posted that, he was trying to take a jab. And so if that's somebody, like, that's who he is, then that's what he's always going to be like, unless he decides to make a decision to change from that mindset. And he don't look like he want to change from that mindset anytime soon. So it was really sad because now Keke going forward, once she is pictured with him anywhere, like, you've now added another level of stress to her life, and she's really got her whole career with not like really bad press at all. Now here yo freaking ungrateful ass go, don't know how to stay in the background. Stay your ass at home, watch the baby. Let me live, my nigga. Unless you can double up, run it up, because I'm just gonna guess that he moved into her house. I'm just gonna guess that Darius moved into Keke's house. So you moved into her house, make less money than her, but she a mom. So I'm gonna point out that she a mom. Why do I see her butt cheeks? You know, bruh. Step your cookies up. Like, y'all mad at women for elevating, but really y'all need to just step y'all cookies up. Like, step your cookies up, but y'all don't want to. So y'all want women to sit there and settle for potential, but yet get mad at us when we decide to go for potential. Like, it's ass backwards. So speaking of potential, let's go to the last topic of Kimmi and Maurice on honestly, I might do a separate live. I'm kind of feeling like I want to do a separate live for Kimmi and Maurice just because there's so much to dissect, and this one's already kind of gone long. So you guys, I'm actually going to save that for a separate live, and I might actually possibly do it tomorrow. So y'all just stay tuned. I think I'm gonna keep it right there, y'all. So nonetheless, you guys, I really appreciate everybody who tuned in. I'm gonna post, and I think this live I'm gonna actually like doing clips, so that way it's not just a long video. I think that'll probably be better for my channel as well. But if you come across this live, y'all make sure to like the video, post, share, tag, all that good stuff, and I will catch you guys in the next live. Okay, all right.